Albert Einstein was a man whose name became a symbol of genius all around the world. Yet behind the familiar image of the scientist with white hair and deep eyes, there were hidden stories that shaped not only his own destiny, but also the destiny of the entire planet. He was born in 1879 in the German city of Ulm, and from the very beginning, he was different from other children. He spoke slowly, and his teachers thought he might not be very smart, but inside his young mind, he was always questioning the mysteries of nature. Why did the compass needle always point north? Why did light move so fast? And what was hidden behind the stars that filled the night sky? These questions followed him through his youth and built the foundation for a life that would transform science forever. As he grew up, he faced many challenges. He was not considered a good student by the traditional standards. He disliked strict memorization and instead wanted to imagine and explore things in his own way. Later in life, he described his thought experiments, such as imagining himself riding on a beam of light. These thoughts were not normal for most people, but for Einstein, they became the path to understanding the universe. In 1905, when he was working as a patent clerk in Switzerland, he published 4 revolutionary papers, including the special theory of relativity, which changed physics and challenged the old ways of thinking about time and space. This was only the beginning of his journey. Over the next decades, Einstein became one of the most respected scientists in the world. He traveled to many countries, he gave lectures, and he inspired countless young minds. Yet life outside science was becoming darker. The world was moving toward conflict. Nations were fighting for power, and in the 1930s, Germany, where Einstein was born, was falling under the control of Adolf Hitler. Einstein was Jewish, and he immediately understood the danger. He left Germany and moved to the United States, where he accepted a position at Princeton University. This decision saved his life, but he carried with him the pain of watching his homeland fall into chaos. In the late 1930s, as World War II was beginning, another hidden chapter of his life unfolded. Germany had started research on nuclear physics, and there were rumors that they were trying to build a weapon more powerful than anything the world had ever seen. A Hungarian scientist named Leo Szilard, together with his colleagues Enrico Fermi and others, felt great fear. They believed that if Hitler succeeded in creating such a bomb, he would dominate the world and cause destruction on a scale never imagined. Szilard thought about who could help, and he decided that only Albert Einstein had the respect and influence to get the attention of the American government. Szilard visited Einstein, who was living quietly in a small house near the beach on Long Island. Einstein loved sailing, and he often spent his time on the water thinking about science and enjoying the simple peace of nature. But this day was different. Szilard explained the danger to him. He described how uranium could be split in a chain reaction, releasing enormous energy. He told Einstein that Germany was already trying to purchase uranium from mines in Africa, and that time was running out. Einstein listened carefully. At first, he was shocked, and he could not believe that such destruction could be possible, but then his mind accepted the reality of the science, and he realized that this was no ordinary warning. Together with Szilard, he agreed to write a letter to the President of the United States, Franklin D. Roosevelt. The letter was short and simple, but inside it carried the seed of a terrible future. It warned the president that Germany might be on the path to build an atomic bomb, and that America should begin serious research immediately. Szilard drafted the words, and Einstein signed it. His name gave the letter weight and credibility. When Roosevelt received it, he took the warning seriously, and soon the American government launched the Manhattan Project, one of the largest secret programs in history, involving thousands of scientists, engineers, and workers, all dedicated to creating the first nuclear weapons. For Einstein, life seemed to return to normal after signing the letter. He continued teaching and working on physics. He even tried to develop a unified field theory, but success never came in that area. He was admired everywhere he went, but deep inside, he was still a man who loved peace. He had always hated war and violence, and he had even called himself a pacifist, yet unknown to him, his signature had already opened the door to a new age. In 1945, when the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the world changed forever. The destruction was beyond imagination. Thousands of people died instantly, and many more suffered from radiation for years. The news reached Einstein, and he was devastated. He was not part of the Manhattan Project, and he had not built the bombs, but he felt that his letter in 1939 had been the spark that started it all. He confessed to his friends that if he had known what would happen, he would never have signed that letter. His heart carried a deep burden, and he could not escape the feeling that his action had indirectly caused the deaths of so many innocent people. For the rest of his life, Einstein spoke out for peace. He supported nuclear disarmament and joined campaigns with other scientists to stop the spread of atomic weapons. He wanted the world to use science for good, not for destruction. He once said that science without conscience can be the ruin of humanity. He also reminded people that imagination is more important than knowledge, because imagination can create new futures. But behind these wise words was always the silent shadow of guilt that never left him. Einstein lived until 1955, and even in his final years, he remained a man of curiosity and kindness. He loved music, he played the violin, and he enjoyed the company of friends. He received letters from children all over the world asking him questions about the stars, and he answered with patience and warmth. But the secret of the letter remained with him until the end, a reminder that even the greatest genius can be trapped by the unintended consequences of his choices. This story about Albert Einstein shows that history is not only about the discoveries we celebrate, but also about the hidden decisions and regrets that shape our world. It reminds us that knowledge is powerful, and that with great power comes great responsibility. Sometimes a single act, like signing a letter, can change the course of human history and leave behind questions that can never be fully answered.